Everything you desire is already alive within you, vibrating, pulsing, whispering back to you in ways you often overlook. And yet, in those quiet moments when doubt tries to gather itself, the universe leans closer and gives you signs, real, subtle, undeniable signals, that what you've imagined is already woven into the fabric of your reality. Don't give up. You are far closer than your senses can currently reveal. There are moments when your thoughts feel intensified, when the image of your desire appears out of nowhere, stronger than before, almost as if someone else is sending it to you. That is not your imagination playing tricks. That is alignment. That is the merging of inner and outer reality. When your mind keeps returning to what you want with a strange, effortless pull, it is because your manifestation is reaching for you just as much as you are reaching for it. The connection is mutual. The bridge is already built. You may feel waves of emotion rising for no reason. Sudden love, unprovoked excitement, a deep sense of certainty bubbling from nowhere. These are not random. These are telepathic echoes of the version of you who already has what you seek. That future self is communicating with you, sending the frequency backwards through time, letting you know it's done. Keep going. When the feeling comes first and the evidence comes later, that is the signature of creation at work. Sometimes you'll notice signs in the outer world, numbers repeating, conversations that mirror your thoughts, strangers speaking the very words you held silently inside your mind. Do not mistake these for coincidences. They are confirmations. Reality is rearranging itself around you, aligning its pieces with precision to match the blueprint of your inner world. Every synchronicity is a message: stay the course. Do not give up. And then there are the moments where everything goes quiet. No movement, no visible change, no progress to the naked eye. This silence is not failure. This is integration. This is the universe adjusting pathways, shifting timelines, clearing obstacles you don't even know were there. When the external feels still, but your inner world feels alive, it means the manifestation is already rooted beneath the surface, preparing to break through. You may feel a sudden surge of clarity, a deep knowing that doesn't come from logic. You may feel connected to your desire in a way that feels almost telepathic, as if you can sense it breathing, responding, existing. This knowing is the highest sign. When the thought of your desire feels less like a wish and more like a recognition, the manifestation is already complete in the invisible realm. And the invisible always becomes visible. There will also be moments when resistance rises, not because you're failing, but because you're close. The closer your manifestation comes, the more your old self attempts to pull you back into the familiar. Doubt, fear, impatience. They show up not as signs of defeat, but as signs of proximity. You are on the threshold. The old identity knows it is dissolving. This is the final friction before the shift. When you begin to feel as if you can almost hear the outcome calling you, when you can sense the presence of what you want like an energy around you, when your desire feels closer than your breath. That is telepathic alignment. Reality responds to your inner dialogues. Your imagination sends signals. Your future echoes back. This is the rampage of creation pulsating through you. Don't give up. Not now. Especially not now. The signs are not random. They are not accidental. They are not weak. They are the language of manifestation speaking in symbols, feelings, synchronicities, waves, and whispers. Stay aligned with the version of you who already has what you want. Feel it as real. Respond to the signs with certainty. You are not waiting for your manifestation. Your manifestation is already moving toward you, bending the world to reach you. You must understand that the invisible realm is always more active than the visible one. What you see with your physical eyes is merely the slowest part of creation. The real movement, the real transformation, the real rearranging happens in consciousness first. And when you start noticing signs, when thoughts intensify, when emotions rise, when synchronicities multiply, that is the moment creation is no longer silent. It is speaking. It is responding. It is aligning itself with the command you impressed upon it. Don't give up when the evidence seems faint. The faint evidence is often the loudest confirmation. There are times when the desire feels like it is thinking you instead of you thinking it. It appears in your mind at strange times, like a soft tap on your energetic door. This is not obsession. This is communication. It is the merging of two realities, the one you stand in and the one you've already created. The desire becomes active, conscious, alive, and begins pulling your awareness toward itself. You are not imagining the pull. That pull is the handshake between timelines. It is the crossing point where your inner world begins to condense into the outer. If you ever find yourself speaking the end result in your mind naturally, effortlessly, without trying to convince yourself, that is a sign. When the words, "it's mine," "it's done," "it's already here," slip into your thoughts without effort, that is the subconscious revealing what it already accepted as truth. You do not need to force belief when the belief has already rooted itself. That natural recognition, that effortless acceptance, is one of the highest confirmations of manifestation underway. And sometimes the signs come in dreams. Vivid, symbolic, emotional dreams that feel more real than waking life. In those dreams, you may interact with the very thing you desire as if it has already manifested. This is more than imagination. This is your consciousness stepping into the fulfilled version of you. This is your inner reality rehearsing the outer one. Dreams often show you what you have already created before you see it with your open eyes. As the manifestation nears, you might notice subtle shifts in your behavior. You respond differently. You carry yourself with renewed confidence. You handle situations with more clarity. These changes are not random personal growth. They are reflections of identity shifting. The new version of you, the version who possesses your desire, is taking over. Identity is the first thing that changes before external conditions can follow. When you start becoming the version of you that aligns with the desire has no choice but to appear. There will be moments when people around you begin reflecting your inner state. They may compliment you unexpectedly, treat you differently, or mirror back the confidence, abundance, or love you've been cultivating within. People shift because your consciousness shifted. They become instruments that deliver the evidence of what you've internally accepted. When people change around you, it is because your inner script changed first. And sometimes reality tests you, not because you are failing, but because old patterns are being cleared. You may feel like you're being stretched. You may feel like the contrast becomes sharper. This is the final burning away of the old state. Do not misinterpret this as a sign to quit. It is the pressure point that precedes breakthroughs. When the tension rises, it is because the old timeline is collapsing. The new one is becoming undeniable. You may also feel increasingly attuned to signals, symbols, repeating numbers, songs that echo your desire, random quotes that match your inner thoughts. These are reflections of your alignment. Consciousness projects outward, and the world echoes back. When the world begins to speak your language, the manifestation is no longer a distant potential. It is an active unfolding. There will be times when the universe seems to orchestrate moments with surgical precision. Someone calls just when you think of them. An opportunity appears immediately after you imagine it. A message arrives the moment you affirm it. These moments are the universe saying, "You are sensed. Stay steady." Telepathic communication is not a fantasy. It is the natural language of consciousness. When you align fully, the whole world aligns with you. You will feel inner peace, an unexplainable calm, even when nothing outside seems to change. This calm is not complacency. This calm is certainty. It is the embodied knowing that the outer world must follow the inner world. Peace is one of the strongest signs your manifestation is locked into place. When your emotions no longer depend on physical evidence, you've already crossed the bridge. You may also notice your fears losing their power. The thoughts that once scared you suddenly feel small. The doubts that once dominated you now feel irrelevant. This loss of fear isn't accidental. It means your inner state no longer matches your old limitations. Your consciousness has expanded, and the fears cannot survive in this new space. When fear dissolves, manifestation becomes inevitable. There may be moments when your desire feels strangely familiar, as if you've already lived it. This is because you have, consciously. Imagination is not a fantasy land. It is the creative workshop where reality is shaped. When the desire feels familiar, it's because your subconscious has already accepted it as real. Familiarity is a sign you have already become the version who possesses the manifestation. You may feel your intuition sharpen. You sense things before they happen. You know the next step without thinking. You feel guided, supported, connected. This intuitive clarity is a signal that your mind and the universal mind are working in harmony. When intuition becomes stronger than logic, manifestation is close, because intuition is rooted in the unseen reality that is already unfolding. You will experience sudden bursts of energy, moments where you feel electrified, powerful, unstoppable. These bursts are energetic surges from the future self being integrated into your present state. It is consciousness aligning with its completed version. That surge is momentum. That momentum is creation accelerating. And there will be moments when you feel like something huge is about to happen. You don't know how. You don't know when. But the feeling is undeniable. This anticipation is not wishful thinking. It is the vibration of the manifestation pressing into the physical world. The feeling always comes first. The world follows. You may start to detach naturally, not because you don't care, but because you know it's done. You stop obsessing. You stop worrying. You stop checking the physical world for signs. That effortless detachment is the mark of alignment. When the desire feels normal, when the outcome feels inevitable, you have already locked into the new reality. Your manifestation may also show signs through others who begin achieving what you want. Instead of feeling jealous, you feel inspired. These reflections are previews. They show you what is now possible in your field of consciousness. When others suddenly mirror your desires, it means the timeline has opened. Sometimes, everything in your life begins moving quickly. Opportunities, connections, ideas, clarity, all of it arrives at once. This acceleration is a sign that the universe is clearing the path for your manifestation. Everything aligns with speed because your vibration has matched the reality of being ready. Other times, life slows down. Everything becomes quiet, withdrawn, still. This stillness is not emptiness. It is incubation. The caterpillar enters the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. Silence is sacred. Silence is transformation hidden from the eye. You may also observe a shift in your relationship with time. The future begins to feel present, the past feels distant, and the now becomes vivid. This time distortion is a sign your consciousness is anchoring itself in the fulfilled state. When time bends, reality bends with it. And then come the physical sensations. Tingling, warmth, pressure on the chest or forehead, sudden chills. These sensations are energetic signs of alignment. Your body responds to the vibrational shift. Energy moves. Blocks dissolve. You transform on a cellular level. This physical resonance is a direct sign of manifestation, moving from the unseen into the seen. You might notice your inner conversations shifting. You talk as the person who has. Your internal dialogues reflect confidence, ownership, certainty. These conversations are not random, they are creative acts. The world reflects your inner voice. When your inner dialogue changes, your outer world must change. There will also be signs through resistance. When everything tries to pull you back, when old fears resurface, when life tests you, that is not failure. That is the final purge. Before a new state can fully anchor, the old state always fights back. But this resistance is proof that the old reality is losing power. Stand firm. This is a sign you're close. You might feel called to isolate, to think deeply, to withdraw from noise. This is not sadness. This is alignment. This is you tuning into the frequency of your desire. Solitude sharpens the signal. In silence, you become a magnet. Sometimes you'll notice your self-talk trying to sabotage you. This is old programming dissolving. Let it pass. Do not give it meaning. The fact that you notice it means you are no longer controlled by it. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. You will also feel gratitude rising without cause. You feel thankful for things not yet seen. Gratitude before the manifestation is one of the strongest signs that it is close. Gratitude is the emotional signature of completion. When your imagination becomes more vivid, when you can feel the desire with all senses as if it is already yours, that is manifestation in progress. Imagination is rehearsal. Rehearsal becomes reality. And perhaps the most powerful sign is this: you begin to trust yourself, not the world, not circumstances, yourself. When you trust your inner reality more than the outer one, everything changes. The universe responds to self-trust with physical confirmation. You may feel the desire soften, as if it's no longer out there, but part of you. This softening is union. You and your manifestation merge energetically before they merge physically. All these signs, all these whispers, all these signals, telepathic, emotional, intuitive, are the universe responding to your command. They are not to be questioned. They are to be recognized as evidence that the manifestation is unfolding, that the world you desire is already forming itself around you, that the future you created is reaching out to meet you. There comes a point in every manifestation where the line between wanting and knowing begins to dissolve. You no longer grip the desire with desperation. Instead, you hold it with the gentleness of certainty. It becomes a quiet truth within you, something so natural that it no longer feels like a future possibility, but an inner identity. This shift is not subtle, it's seismic. And when it happens, reality begins bending toward you faster than you can recognize. You may notice subtle flickers of déjà vu, moments that feel like repeats of something you've never lived physically. These flashes are not imagination. They are glimpses of the timeline you have already stepped into. Your consciousness travels ahead of your physical self, touching the future, confirming its existence, and returning with the sensation of familiarity. This D8 Vu is a message saying, the future you chose is already running in the background, waiting for you to fully align. Your desire will appear in your field of awareness through symbols, signs that only you can interpret. You might see someone with the thing you want, hear a story that mirrors your desire, or observe someone speaking your own internal declarations. These reflections are not coincidences, they are mirrors. The world mirrors what your subconscious has accepted. When symbols appear more frequently, it is proof that the desire has entered your dominant state. You may also find that your reactions to life shift. Things that once bothered you lose their power. Situations that once triggered insecurity now trigger clarity. Problems that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. These changes are not random personal growth. They are the shedding of the old self. Manifestation requires identity death, and when your old reactions crumble, it is the ultimate sign that the new reality is taking hold. Your desire may begin to feel like a presence, a living energy around you. You may sense it walking with you, standing beside you, communicating without words. This is not fantasy. Consciousness does not separate the imagined from the real. When the desire becomes an energetic companion, it is because your creation is completed in the non-physical and is simply awaiting its moment to crystallize into matter. This presence is confirmation. This presence is alignment. When you notice patterns shifting, whether in your relationships, routines, or mindset, it is because reality is reorganizing itself. You may find yourself letting go of things that once felt essential. You may feel drawn toward new environments, new decisions, new behaviors. This gravitational pull is not random. It is the universe guiding you along the path of least resistance. The path that leads directly to your manifestation often begins with subtle shifts that later make perfect sense. Often, signs appear through contrast. You may feel a sudden sense of discomfort with things you used to tolerate. You may recognize that certain habits no longer feel aligned. This discomfort is not a setback. It is expansion. The desire is pulling you upward, and anything that does not match the new frequency becomes intolerable. Contrast is a sign of alignment. It tells you exactly what no longer belongs in your new reality. You may begin to experience thought alignment, moments when your mind, emotions, and imagination flow together seamlessly. The desire feels natural. The emotions feel aligned. The inner conversations feel complete. This alignment is the inner merging of the three creative powers that form reality. When mind, emotion, and imagination match, physical confirmation becomes inevitable. There will also be times when you feel as if you're being carried, guided, or supported by something greater than yourself. The path opens. Things work out. Answers appear. Doors unlock. This invisible assistance is not external. It is your higher consciousness orchestrating events with precision. Manifestation is not about force. It is about cooperation with your deepest self. Old manifestations will return. Things you once wanted but no longer desire. They appear not to tempt you, but to show you how powerful you have become. They are echoes of previous states, resurfacing as the final remnants of outdated realities. When old desires show up without your effort, it is because you have entered a state where creation becomes effortless. This phenomenon is one of the clearest signs of your rising power. Your emotions may fluctuate intensely. One day you feel clarity, the next you feel doubt. These waves do not mean you are failing. They mean you are shifting. Emotional turbulence often signifies that the subconscious is rearranging itself. The old beliefs are dissolving. The new beliefs are anchoring. You are not breaking, you are rebuilding. You may experience moments of overwhelming gratitude, even for things not yet seen. This gratitude is not forced. It rises naturally, spontaneously, as if you already have what you desire. This emotional certainty is the emotional signature of the end result. Gratitude before manifestation is a sign that you're holding the desired reality in your energy field. There will be days when you feel your desire is so close you can almost touch it. This closeness is not an illusion, it is energetic proximity. The desire is at the edge of materialization, waiting for the perfect moment to appear. You may feel the air around you shift, as if the atmosphere itself is responding to your inner world. You may begin to sense alignment through your impulses. Suddenly you feel inspired to take certain actions, make certain changes, speak certain words. These impulses are not random, they are guidance. When you are aligned, intuition becomes louder than logic. The next steps reveal themselves without effort. You will find yourself releasing the need for control. You stop micromanaging the when, where, and how. This surrender is not giving up. It is stepping into mastery. When you stop trying to force the manifestation, you become a match to it. The universe does not withhold, it simply waits for you to release resistance. You might notice your imagination strengthening. Visualizations become clearer. Scenes feel real. You can feel the emotions vividly. This vividness is a sign that your subconscious is accepting the imagery as truth. When imagination feels real, reality must follow. Time may start behaving strangely. Days feel shorter. Moments stretch. Hours blur. This distortion happens because you are shifting states. Time bends around consciousness, not the other way around. When you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, time becomes malleable. You may feel sudden clarity about what you no longer need. Clutter falls away. Old habits dissolve. People drift out of your life. These shifts are energetic cleansing. The new reality requires space. When release happens naturally, it means you are ascending into a higher timeline. Unexpected blessings appear, small wins, sudden opportunities, random strokes of good luck. These are not unrelated. They are the first ripples of your manifestation touching the material world. Even small breakthroughs are signs that the larger one is approaching. You may feel drawn to certain music, certain words, certain environments. This pull is energetic. It guides you toward frequencies that match your desire. Pay attention to what feels magnetic. Magnetism is a sign of alignment. And then there are moments when your desire feels inevitable. Not hopeful, not possible, inevitable. This inevitability is the apex of manifestation. When the inner world declares something as fact, the outer world must comply. All these signals, all these shifts, all these sensations, they form a symphony of confirmation. They whisper, they echo, they pulse with the truth your manifestation is alive. It is moving, it is forming, it is aligning, it is becoming, it is inevitable. So stand here now, not as the person who is waiting, but as the one who knows. Every sign you've received, every intuitive nudge, every shift in your emotions, every whisper from the unseen, all of it has been guiding you, shaping you, sharpening you for the moment when the invisible becomes visible. You are not chasing your manifestation. You are becoming the version of yourself who is aligned with it. And once you embody that version, reality has no choice but to bow to your inner truth. Do not give up now. Do not doubt now. You are on the precipice of the shift you once prayed for. What you want is not far, not distant, not separate. It is woven into the fabric of your being, breathing through your thoughts, pulsing through your emotions, echoing through your signs. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is delivering everything to you in the perfect rhythm, the perfect sequence, the perfect unfolding. Hold your vision. Hold your knowing. Hold your inner state with unshakable certainty. Because the moment you decide that your desire is already yours, creation must obey. That is the law. That is the truth. And when you claim it, when you live it, when you embody it, your manifestation will rise from the unseen and introduce itself to your physical world with undeniable clarity. It was never a matter of if. It has always been a matter of when. And the when is now aligning for you in ways more intricate, more powerful, and more miraculous than you can possibly imagine. Your only task now is to continue. Continue holding the feeling. Continue trusting the signs. Continue walking in the state of the fulfilled desire, because you are closer than ever. The breakthrough is not coming. It is already here, assembling itself around you. And soon, what you once imagined will walk into your life as the most natural thing in the world. This is your moment. Claim it.